and welcome back to the Nihil channel, and to what is the beginning of the end of Shining Force Alternate. Today I have two very special guests, because Chaos Wizard is always special, but I also have the mod's creator, Erican.
Hello.
Alright, so the first thing I asked before we did anything was the child that tells you he's gonna go hide from you and you should come find him. Can you find the child? The answer was no. So I've done all that off screen for nothing.
You should have told him yes, this way he continues to look off stream.
Oh, yeah.
I did think about it. I thought about that really hard.
Then, to the viewers who have been like, you're gonna forget to equip stuff, I've got everybody decked out before we even get started. So, we're good. Even though, yes, I know some of you feel like I should be wearing a shirt that says, I don't have inventory space. Alright.
I would buy that t-shirt if I found it online.
I've thought about making merch at some point, so that might have to be one. Oh yeah, I've got to use the Chaos Breaker, I think. Right? No.
Isn't it the...
Is it the Orb of Light? Shining Force expert doesn't remember what to do.
Shining Force is different, not that different.
Alright, give me a reminder.
Isn't it north of Runefist? The shrine area?
Runefist?
That corner where someone goes, no!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're right. There we go. Forgot you gotta raise the castle first. It's been a little while since we've recorded. That's what I'm gonna blame that on. There we go. Now it works. Hey, I mean, Dark Soul got in there without raising it somehow. Or he raised it and it went back down.
Yeah, that was the idea, was he took it and, tried to hide it.
Erican, do you want to voice yourself?
I guess so. At last, Maxine, the Castle of the Ancients. The end is near, for good or ill.
Maxine, my sensors are going off the charts. I have found the source of the corruption at Metafa. What is it, Zeno? It is in this room, over there. Okay, I see. Already things look different.
Oh god, are those death balloons?
None shall pass Colossus, the eternal sentinel. I may have failed at Metafa, but now you will be brought to heel. Maxine, we will need to take great care. This machine is very formidable. I am also detecting something behind that armed skeleton. Something for you, Maxine. A bookcase. Alright, well. What is this? Brain cell, and it has throw. Armed skeletons, okay, demon axe. And you actually gave them the machine gun, which I appreciate.
Yeah, for this particular version, I wanted a lot of the enemies to have items, even though they don't technically use them, just for aesthetics.
Haha, left brain and right brain, I get it. Okay.
I'm smart. I'm so smart. In the new update, though, a lot of these aesthetic items were taken out for actual items that do stuff.
I see.
With the force or the enemies.
Okay. I appreciate that I don't see a million chimeras and blue dragons here.
Yeah.
That was bugged me in the original too.
I also had somebody tell me that I should, if Amon has the Valkyrie, I should use it. And that is a bug. Has that been patched, or is that still gonna work?
I think it was patched, but if not, then hey, if you want to keep your enemies, going long and strong, then hey, it's up to you. It sounded way worse than in my head.
I'll try it, but I was warned to save state first. So.
But that's what I end up. That's what I have to do all the time when I'm testing stuff. I'm constantly save stating everything.
Yeah.
The amount of times that you load and reload your game only to find out that the bug still isn't fixed.
Most frustrating thing ever.
See, we gave Varios a good weapon. Do you see the difference that made?
Dude, he's been carrying this team the entire game.
My thoughts exactly. Oh, man. People think I just hate Varios for some reason. Varios is cool. It just has not worked out for me. There we go. So
And I think
okay.
in this version the aim only lets you attack farther away. It doesn't really give any other bonuses or X or anything like that.
Does that mean in the next version that's going to be different?
What do I want to say that doesn't give everything away? I know Dina's been doing. That's why it's taking this update so long. There's a lot of balancing and stuff like that with her abilities and everyone else's. So they all have different kinks and nuances that make it so it's a little more fun to mess around with.
I see.
So for things like what is it, the centaur ability?
The charge?
Are those like hard-coded positions for the cursor, or is that algorithm?
It's something that Rubik's Cuber was working with. Because you have the typical T or just multi-targeting stuff.
Yep.
I think it's a she, Rubik's Cuber. She added advanced ranges that allows you to choose different stuff, like a straight line. You could have 2, 3, 4 people in a certain row, but when you do verticals, it never works. And if you were to select the vertical option and then back out and do a regular attack, the game crashes. That's the main reason I didn't utilize it in the updates, because that's just one thing that's going to break the game, and I don't know people are going to run into that when they change their mind mid-decision making with their abilities.
For sure.
I try to mitigate that by making 2 different versions, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that was a lot of damage.
Insert that one meme. That's a lot of damage.
I love that guy. Okay, let me just see if this is usable. No, okay, so it's been patched out. Holy Lance is usable though. That's interesting.
What did the Valkyrie do?
I don't know what the bug did.
Oh, here's one tidbit about the update that I think we could share. When you have someone like Eamon that uses spears or lances, she has those abilities where she can do the throwing ability or the charging ability.
Yeah.
If you have a melee weapon, you can't use the throw, and vice versa.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people do it where they have the melee weapon, but then they choose to throw because that has the longer range and whatnot. So you're getting the benefit of the melee with the range, which is, I guess, a cool way to work around stuff. But that's not what the original intention was.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm known for using things not in their original intention and then them getting patched. I know Ivan, after we finished Legacy of the Ancients, Ivan decided to patch the Chaos Breaker so you couldn't just use the spell on it over and over.
I mean, to be fair, we've all just spammed the Chaos Breaker, though.
So I'm guessing the left and right are infinite spawners, so I'm just gonna have to push forward.
I think so, yeah.
The brain cells look nice.
Can't remember where I lifted them from.
Well, the overworld sprite is the death balloon from Shining Force CD.
Right.
I don't know, every
Really
time
weren't too much different.
every time I say something looks nice, there's a comment saying, "Oh, that's from Beyond the Beyond."
A lot of the stuff was from Beyond the Beyond, because the same artist on that game is the same for this one, so a lot of the aesthetic is the same.
Yeah.
Then it's an easy plug-in when you already have the artwork that's pretty much in the same angles that you need it for.
Is there any other game that's like
compatible?
Like close enough that's yeah.
I've used some of Final was it Fantasy Star? I've used some of that artwork. Like I used the Mantis one. I can't remember which version of the game.
Yeah, I know that one is fairly similar.
I've got to play those.
A lot of them are head-on.
Yeah.
In that game, so can't use all of them, but there are certainly a few things that work.
I think I pulled one from Shining in the Darkness, that water demon.
Yes.
Chapter 4. Yeah. That one was fun to put together. Yeah.
And that is the game that comes next after Shining Wisdom, so we'll probably be getting to that before too long.
Nice.
Gonna have to break out the graph paper. Unless, this is here's something I need to comment on. If anybody out there knows a website that would be used for dungeon crawling games that would let me like catalog it all really easily, that would be helpful. If not, I'm just gonna have to make the map by hand because I don't want to just use a guide. That's lame. Let's see.
I'm sure there's one that exists because it's not a very difficult thing to program.
You wouldn't think so. It's more about, are dungeon crawlers popular enough these days? That's more of my question. That feels like a genre that has not gotten a lot of love in a while. Alright, I'm gonna see how much his level 2 breath does. Okay.
Probably about 22.
Always the astute observer. So, Erican, what was your biggest headache in making Shining Force Alternate?
There's way too many to count. There were a lot of moments during the initial development I just wanted to rage quit. Because there'd be things you try to do, and the game or the editor says, okay, this is what you're going to do, great. And you go in game, and it's not doing what you programmed it to do.
I know that.
1 + 1 does not equal 2 in the other. Not at all. I'm trying to think of something that was so time and... I think it took me a good 2 weeks to figure out how to get the whorl flooding to happen.
Oh, it did?
Which you would think would be simple, since it's already in the game. No. I was playing around with events because I had to make certain changes, and then it broke that event script. So I had to do a lot of learning just to figure out how to make that reappear properly.
I see.
And when there was one where if you have enemies that, by accident of the editor, push them outside the map, you can't fix it. I lost like 4, 5, 6 hours of work because I didn't notice it till it was too late. So you would start a battle and the cursor would immediately fly off the screen. And I could not figure out for the life of me what was causing it. That was a long time wasted.
I would imagine. I'm curious too, were we right in speculating that characters like, how did you achieve, like, permanently taking away Aleph? Are you just getting...
That was one of...
Are you just getting rid of the character, or is it you're promoting them and now they look like somebody else?
That was Xeno's work. That was something that I thought would have been cool in the base game, where you actually have, you get to know them and they die off, just like Disney likes to do their characters. But Xeno put in something where their stats move on to the person that replaces them. So you don't really lose the progress you had with them.
Which is super cool.
Right.
Because that was my first question. I was like, oh no, I wasted all that. And then when I noticed, like, they had the inventory and other stuff, I was like, oh, it's fine after all. Okay. So, I thought that was really well handled.
Yeah. The decision to kill off Aleph was mainly because after I did the initial release of Alternate, I wanted Aleph on the team because it made sense. She was one of those characters that I always got to ignore because she joined so late in the original. So having her in the beginning and all the way through the end would have been a nice change of pace. But then, as I took more time thinking about the overall story arc and whatnot, I thought maybe it'd make more sense to have Henri, or Ainri, how you pronounce her name, become the queen of Guardiana after the king dies and all that. So I had to think, how do I want that to play out in game? I thought about having her start in the beginning and just replace Aleph altogether, but I didn't want her completely gone, because I liked her being in the game for at least a little while. So, yeah.
I see. Speaking of using old characters in different ways, one of my co-hosts is notorious for his hatred of a certain archer.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a Hans hater as well?
I wouldn't say I was, but when I read online, everyone's like, I hate Hans. I'm like, yeah, I can see why. Even in the original game, I never really used him. I did at first. I tend to try to keep everybody in my original team together the entire game. That's why I was like for number 2, and I tried to do that for number 1, but for him, I just couldn't do it.
I see.
His stats are just so... they fall so far behind everyone else.
I looked at it in the editor. It's because he's given late stat growth, and his overall stat gain is lower than everyone else. So it's like, you're going to have a character that's going to have a late growth pattern, then he should have more to grow in general. That way, it's worth the wait. But
like a character like Arthur.
Right.
I never use Arthur because of late growths, but at least, there is some kind of incentive there.
I tried to fix that with one of my other projects for the graphic upgrade. It's an optional side patch that he'll change the stats along with the graphics, and for him, he should be just as good as the other 2 archers. Should be is the key word.
I think the other thing about the original game is, like, a lot of your late game characters just are way too underleveled to even use.
Yeah, that's what I did with mine too. I did a regular game playthrough, logged all where I was at that time, and then used that as a benchmark to, like, a lot of them to have at least 1 level higher than they initially start with. Like Blue and Adam, they're given like 10 each. Because at that point, it's like you're not really going to use them for maybe 1 or 2 battles, so they don't need to be level 8 or 10, and they should just be near max level. I think they're both like 18 or 19 unpromoted.
Yeah, because I mean, even in the original game, I usually get my whole team promoted around like level 3, level 4, or chapter 3, chapter 4. And then you have another 2 chapters until you get a character who's the same level that you used to be 2 or 3 chapters ago.
I'm a good player. I try to do it right when they tell me to. Try to. Like, usually I would promote everyone right around chapter 4 with Elliot's battle.
Yeah.
But I'll sometimes wait until, like, once we start going into sea, then on chapter 5 I'll start promoting everybody.
Well, because Elliot's battle too, there are certain items in the shop that you can't equip unless you're promoted.
Yes.
Or that heat axe too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when it definitely, I think, starts prompting you. Let's see. I think I want to just get rid of these guys. They do quite a lot. I've been pretty impressed, too, with the difficulty this whole time. It's felt pretty just right the whole time.
Just remember that next time you play it.
No.
We've been trying to make it where it's fair, but it can be very brutal at times. And it might be partly because the way I play, I try not to over-level everybody. Because my main philosophy, you should be able to beat the game without grinding.
I agree with that.
Agree, yeah.
So I've seen a lot of playthroughs where they end up being over-leveled because it is difficult, and they don't save state like I do. So they either die or they egress because they're about to lose. And now they have the additional level advantage. It makes it a bit easier. So when they get to the next battle, they're already over-leveled. So it kind of snowballs from there, sort of.
Yeah.
You know, something I've thought about doing, because the whole like level grinding thing is something that comes up a lot in discussions. Should it be allowed? Shouldn't it be allowed? And one potential solution that I've had was, let's say your characters just don't get XP at all, and they level up after every battle. Like your entire party, regardless of whether they're in the battle party or not.
That would be an interesting
That would force
approach.
everybody to be the same level. You can still hop in and out, grind gold and stuff for items, but overall it would keep your power level the same. Or, you know, the other option is to just tweak the Z values.
Or maybe have it where they just scale with you, so you can level all you want, but it's not going to matter.
Right.
Of course, that creates a whole other can of worms within the fandom and whatnot. I get it, you know. I like for the second game, I do that. I'll get to where you get to that Elven town, and then I'll just grind forever until they're almost god tiered.
Which is very easy to do.
Yeah. I just could never get myself to like level up, like keep Chester at unpromoted until he finally gets to that one spot, which is so late in the game to get his Pegasus wings.
Yeah. Well, isn't Chester also bugged too?
In what way?
I think when you promote him, there's a bug where, based off of your promotion choice, he loses like 10. He's supposed to lose 10 defense if you go for Pegasus Knight, but instead of that, it like reduces his attack power and his defense or something. There's some weird thing like that where he actually becomes weaker if you do it that way.
Right. I think most people say you're supposed to use Rick for that, aren't you?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I know that there is a bug with one of the characters when you're promoting him.
I do know Chester tends to be very squishy once he gets his wings. Of course, that's because he has no defense of the ground anymore and all that, but yeah. So he has this, what do you call it, the spear thing, to stay far away and he'll live, sort of.
Sort of.
Sure, they always bug me about the second game. You have this vast open space, and then they can reach you from wherever and kill you in one hit. It's like, I prefer the more smaller type battles, even though some of my maps, even this game, are kind of big.
I've noticed, though, that they're definitely a little bit smaller, especially some of those open fields were not quite so huge.
Right. Like Elliot's battle. I didn't like having make the player travel 3 or 4 turns just moving them to the right. That was just not fun.
That one's not as big a deal to me. I think the biggest offender is Battle 2. At least,
Yeah.
that's one that always stuck out to me, because it's right at the beginning of the game, and it's just pretty rough.
Battle 2 and the one where you go from town to the Devil's Castle.
Yeah.
Which I noticed in this one you just removed entirely.
Yeah, that was a happy accident, actually. I didn't realize that I had no enemies listed on the map, or if I did, I think I put them in a position where I did something where I couldn't remember exactly what I did, but I had them all set to hide. So if you had all enemies all set to hide until you reach a certain section of the map, the game just automatically ends, or the battle automatically ends. So I just left it like that. I'm like, that's fine. I don't want to do this battle anyway.
Yeah, I did not complain.
Mine works the same way. If the enemies are hidden, technically they don't exist. So
Right.
if there's no enemies on the map, you win. Which, an interesting idea is, let's say you have a map that just has like monster spawners, and the whole goal is to get your characters to block the spawns. So you just have this infinite horde coming at you that you have to kind of split your party and block different spawners and things.
Yeah.
And then kill everything else and win.
Right. I've tried to do something like that for this mod with the gauntlet battles, but they're not always easy to pull off.
Yeah, I think you've done a pretty good job, though, and especially just in giving, like, different objectives. That felt really nice.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is, like, Shining Force technically has these objectives, too. But it never actually specifies that making it to town, ignoring the enemies, is a victory condition. And so most people just think, yeah, we just gotta kill everything.
I mean,
Which in a way, it's not a bad way to go about it. I mean, you need to level up and whatnot, so you're just wasting experience by not doing it.
Yeah.
But
should I run up and grab this with Maxine now, or wait?
you can. I think you should be able to do it if you beat the level and all that, and then exit, but I usually do it beforehand just to be safe.
Alright, well then we're gonna go do that. Let's see. I think the best thing he can do is actually just boost people right now. Oh, it's so much MP though. Maybe I don't want to do that.
This is the one who never actually uses his MP and just decides, I'm just gonna...
I'm using a
Whack
ton
with
of
a
MP
stick.
this battle.
I mean, with the mystery staff, you should be able to replenish your MP completely, so you shouldn't even have to worry about MP management. Just use all you want and then just replenish it with
Well,
one turn.
alright then.
Just saying.
You know, I've been telling him this for the past, like, I don't know, how many episodes? Like 20-something?
Well, maybe he's on the right track, because that's kind of where we're headed with the mystery staff.
I don't know.
Right now it refills completely, but I think in the update it doesn't refill as much, so it's not so overpowered. Because my first version, it was way too powerful, because it would reach too far, and it would. So all he actually became was just a MP restorer for everybody else.
One thing that you could probably do is just, for things like staves and whatnot, you could just give them a magic-based physical attack.
Right. I think that's something Xeno's been working on. Giving everybody their own kind of stat buffs depending on what items they're utilizing. Or just their base class will give them different buffs. Like, Diane has the ability to silence people. Or I think, and even in this version, it's like that muddle thing that no one really knows what it does in the original game.
Yep.
He utilized it so it affects enemies for damage more. So if they're more affected by muddle, Diane's arrows will hit them harder. So usually he uses it for like the flying enemies. So it makes sense. She's the ranged person. She can hit flying targets. She'll hit them harder than anybody else will. Little stuff like that. Yeah. Dino has that in this version, and I know for the update he has that up the tick or two for everybody else. So everyone has their own things to play as their strengths and weaknesses against certain enemies.
I like that.
I remember when implementing magic in my game, I was like, okay, yeah, going down the list, I'm like, okay, muddle. Okay, what does muddle do? Because like in Shining Force 1, 9 times out of 10, spell has no effect. And when it does have an effect, you get a little particle effect over your head, and it doesn't seem to actually do anything.
Yeah.
Which in Shining Force 1, I don't believe it actually is coded to do anything. I think the spell itself is broken.
I agree.
But I remember talking to Wiz, and he went and looked up in like the Shining Force 2 editor to see what it did. And
Oh, it's a chest.
actually...
What? It changes her... Did it just change her thing?
It does automatically in this version.
That's so cool.
Xeno did do some work to that, so now when you have stuff like that that changes their appearance, you have to actually equip it for it to take effect, which is very convenient.
Oh, that's still really cool, though. That she, like, instantly puts it on.
So it's like one of the costume items then?
Yeah. I applied that same logic to Max in the original games too, or the original graphic upgrade too. That'd be kind of cool to have him wear something more close to his original look in the unpromoted, and then get the ancient armor somewhere around here. It is very jarring to see the older version, as I've been looking at the newer version for the past 2-3 years.
Yeah. I still get comments on like some of my older videos and stuff. Things from like, I don't know, 2016. And I'm like, yeah, I know you're trying to play that version, but like, don't.
Meowth and Lynx have been phenomenal with this update. There is so much stuff in here that I personally would not be able to pull off on my own. I'm just not that good of a pixel artist at all. I can edit stuff into Oblivion, but making custom stuff from scratch, well, that's their cup of tea.
Yeah, that's why I started paying people to do that for me.
I'm not that rich. I don't have that money. This would be giving me the glaring eye if I did that.
I actually just got some willow tree tiles back.
I guess I'm just gonna have Abel lead the charge here.
Oh, jeez, he's like a mile away from everyone else.
I was trying to pull those guys in, but apparently they don't aggro.
Yeah, enemy AI in this game are just stupid.
That was the biggest thing that I've had from like mod makers and stuff. Just they were like, if you do anything with the engine, AI's got to be good. Like we have to be able to play with AI. And oddly enough, the AI is a whole heck of a lot easier to work with than the UI.
That's kind of surprising.
Well, UI is a lot of like hard-coded pixel locations and stuff, and so if you want a window to appear somewhere else or tweak different things, that's just because it's all like a big event that always has to happen in a particular order based off of what button you press, and all of these menus have to they're all lumped together, right? So like when you press your when you're done moving your character, you press the button, you got those 4 options.
Oh.
Well, then each of those 4 options go into their own menus with even more options.
Oh no.
And...
Oh, he got a double turn. Oh no. Okay, I didn't know he was a... Okay, so everything is a spawner. Alright, so...
I mean,
Just about, yeah. It was like a factory type thing.
yeah,
I
I'm
thought
getting that
was
vibe now.
obvious that those square things were spawners, but apparently not.
Well... You know. It's obvious now. Alright, yeah, let's just charge.
Yeah, the way I handle AI in my game is like, you basically just list a bunch of actions in a row, and it will basically try the first action. If that fails, it will try the next one, and so on and so forth down the list. And so each action has a bunch of like parameters for it. So, for example, the easiest one to explain is healing. If you're casting a healing spell, you don't want to cast heal level 4 when you're only missing 1 health.
Right.
So obviously, like, one of the parameters is like, hey, how much health am I missing? Is it percentage based? Is it
sprite changes? Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, it was based off of that one thing that was found at SF Mods. I can't remember the name. Demon Knight or Dark Warrior?
Like that.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I've tried so many different versions before I've finally settled with that one. But as I can edit stuff, but I just can't make something from scratch. But she looks a lot better now in the update.
What about the portrait?
That's been updated, definitely.
Okay, because obviously I'm using the old portrait most of the time. Sometimes it, like, for whatever reason, jumps to the other one. Which,
between me and Mal, me and Mal spent a good time discussing and trying to figure out how she should look.
I've gotten a couple comments too that people are like, why does your portrait look like that? I downloaded the mod and mine doesn't look like that.
Yeah, that one that you're currently using is the original that I used, because I never really played SFCD, so I never really associated Isha with that portrait.
Oh, I didn't know it was
to me,
from that.
So to me, it looked brand new. Everyone else was like, that's Isha, that doesn't look right. She's pretty.
Yeah.
She's a warrior, she's supposed to be pretty. Like, I can't please nobody.
Warriors can be pretty.
Then,
my thing is, if I'm gonna look at a character for like a bunch of hours, I want them to look nice.
So after a while, Xeno suggested using one of the Golden Axe portraits. I can't remember whatever that girl's name is in the red bikini-looking outfit.
That's where that sprite's from. Yeah. I knew it looked familiar.
Yeah. So I repurposed it a little bit, and of course she does have that resting bitch face, but it kind of fits with her character. I mean, she's not super happy-go-lucky, so. But now there's a balance between pretty and, looking tough, so. Nobody's wanting this update released faster than I do, but I know there's a process to it, and we'll get there. It's just, I know this depends on how fast Xeno's working. I know he's been taking a little bit of time off right now to focus on other things that he has to do, but we'll get it done.
It is so difficult. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into these things.
And how dare he take
a lot of people
time off
don't.
From his unpaid job.
For me, whenever I decide, or when we decide as a group that we're going to implement some new feature or a different story bit, I have to make all the changes, go in game, make sure those story bits work, make sure they are not affecting anything around it. There's nothing that happens after the fact that breaks or needs change, because maybe the context of their story is now different. It's a never-ending cycle of, is it working? Good. Is it working for everyone else? I don't know.
How many people are working on it?
Let's see, there's me, the primary, Xeno, he does the programming, he does a lot of balancing stuff. And then there's Mouth, who does primarily portraits, and she's been doing some battle sprites now, helping me tweak some of that. And then there's Lynx, who did a lot of the battle sprite stuff you may see, like enemies and force members. So like 4 people. There's
gotcha.
I think Wiz is technically a 5th, but he doesn't really do anything. I think he's mostly there for like some context or maybe some technical help with Xeno when he's trying to do certain stuff. I'm sure there's stuff he may do, I just can't recall off the top of my head.
People, I'm sure, would ask, do you need more playtesters?
A part of me wants to say, yeah, a part of me wants me to say yes.
Is always yes.
But when it comes to this project, I kind of rather it be just me doing the playtesting, even though that's probably not the best way to go about it because it is time consuming. But because this is such a story-driven mod, I kind of want it to be somewhat spoiler-free.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of changes to the story that you'll see once you do play that one. And I didn't want to make it open where everyone knows the story, because then you're less likely to want to play it just because you already know the story.
Mm-hmm.
That and just so many things that pop up that may or may not break the game. I don't want that type of experience to be with the people play testing it.
I see. So the bosses. I had a question about the bosses.
I know what you're gonna ask.
Are they just all immune to stat changes, or has that really just been my luck?
They're more or less immune to stat changes.
Okay. Because I was told in the comments at one point that it was like only 2 of them are immune to stat changes. Like, that's just been your luck. And I was like, really?
I wouldn't be shocked if it was, yeah. I mean, when it comes to bosses, you don't want to make them pushover. So especially in this update, we put everything in the kitchen sink in them to make them as formidable as possible.
Well, they are formidable. Ooh, yeah.
Except that guy.
He's still formidable. That was a ton of damage, and he's not dead.
Uses their right brain, not that guy.
The fact that that didn't kill him is pretty astounding.
Go for the brains, because the others are just gonna respawn.
Yeah, I just knew I could kill the armed skeleton, and I want to kill him before he gets another turn.
I think the brain cells should be dead once you kill them all. It's just those ones in the corners that you have to worry about.
That's when you take a character like Hans and you make them useful for once by standing on the spawner.
Yeah. I'm still bitter that, as far as I've seen so far, you've removed Yogurt from this. He is...
Unfortunately, it was a requirement
he is
to make
key
everything fit.
to my Shining Force experience.
And then you'll love Vulcan's Heroes. He was made pretty powerful in that one.
I did see that.
Whereas that one is not really a happy accident, but just something that came with making a merge of my graphic upgrade and Seal's randomizer. It just made him powerful no matter what I did. So I decided, well, if he's going to be super powerful, then he might as well be difficult to obtain. So that's why I came up with the little mini quest mod stuff where you have to complete small tasks in each chapter. If you complete them all, then you get them.
That sounds fun.
It can be, until you miss something and then you realize now you're SOL. But I tried to make it not too difficult to find. They're pretty much just replacing certain instances where you normally talk to other Force-Smith people before you join. Like the bully in the first chapter, where you were technically the bully because you're running that cart into that chick with the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, little stuff like that. Just repurpose that scene to push a bully into the water.
I see.
Regarding the shield spell, did you fix it for your mod, or does it still make you immune to the heal spell?
And let's say the base game, it does do that, where it blocks everything, which makes shield very unappealing at times. I'm not sure if that was fixed in this version, but I think it was fixed in the new version. I think it was even renamed, so it makes it a little more clear on what it actually does. Nothing's more annoying than putting shield on somebody to try to save them, and then you realize you can't save them anyway because now they're getting, trained by 2 or 3 different enemies at once.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that and kill that guy.
I don't know how I never noticed that little black line next to Lobo's butt. I don't know how I missed
I don't
that
know if
during
it's been
testing.
here the whole time.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
I've only noticed in this level.
Probably because when I'm clicking around, I didn't realize that my mouse was technically over his frame while I was moving between sections.
Something else I've noticed too is for a lot of the sprites, the weapons, like, their hand is moving for their idle frame, but the weapon itself stays in place.
Yeah, that's the thing with Shining Force 1.
I've noticed.
Because in Shining Force 2, you can program the weapon to move with the character, but in 1, you don't have that option.
Okay, so that is just like a limitation.
Yeah. I've sometimes tried to make it where their hand is not moving, so that at least that part is stagnant with the rest of the weapon. But then they look weird, because it's like, why is their hand not moving when the rest of their body is?
Right.
That's how you hold a sword, you know. Just...
Like Vulcan there, you could see his TNT, which oddly enough, did you even find the TNT at this point? Did you not buy it? You didn't buy it, did you?
I thought I did. I thought I had everything.
Everyone says Vulcan sucks at this point. It's because you didn't buy his TNT.
I don't think he sucks, so I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah, the TNT is his second version. I'm not sure if he has the... Actually, he might do it. Might just inadvertently slip something from the update. Basically, you know how like Maxine has the ability to change her look with that armor set?
Yeah.
Everybody in the new update has something like that.
Wow.
Depending on the item they have, they might have a different look. So like for Vulcan, right now he has a single stick.
Mm-hmm.
But when he has the TNT, his sprite will now change to show a big roll of dynamite in his hand.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Little things like that I like. I like things being consistent with what they have. If I could, I would make it where any item you have, then maybe some stuff would change with them, but that we're limited to certain things.
Yeah.
I think if you try to give somebody 2 items that will change their appearance, the game will only prioritize whatever is highest or the lowest on the item list.
I see.
So it's just, yeah.
Oh, I'm finally out of his range where he doesn't care anymore. Ah, I wanted to kill him before he got to do anything. I tried. I think that'll kill Abel, won't it? Yeah. Man.
Oh no, he was carrying the team.
Yeah, he really was.
That's all up to Varios.
Oh man, that's gonna kill him on too.
You killed Avon, you bastard!
Oh man, that's real not good. Cause yeah, that was our carry for sure. I probably don't need that high. Oh wait, no, not heal.
I think Astro should be able to redo his MP. So I would just do it and then use Astral to get him restocked.
But I need.
And if I were you, I would start gunning it for Colossus, because I'm not sure if you could hold off for too much longer.
I'm trying. I think the best thing he can do is just sit here.
Right.
Okay. I do that. Yeah.
Live on the dark side. Let them wear the ring.
I don't need to deal with that right now, too.
You could just save state it. Just resave it, and then reload and walk around for a quick second, then try again.
I try not to save.
It's the true way to play Shining Force. Just like XCOM just gave some the whole time.
Let's see. I don't know if he's going to be strong enough to get this kill. I'm hoping so.
Better.
He'd be fine.
Oh, well, he got a crit, so he is.
Nothing's more frustrating than having 21 and then maybe just does 20. And you're like,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Especially when it's like right on the turn border and then they get an extra turn. Or the next 2 guys you attack it with miss.
Yeah. There's also that line whenever Xeno attacks at the bottom right. I don't know if that's fixable, though.
What line?
Whenever Xeno attacks, it displays a small line at the bottom right.
Oh, it must be just a graphic thing. His artwork has been updated by a lot, so that probably won't be a problem with the update. He was given a complete redesign, so...
Oh, I see. So he doesn't still look like Adam?
Nope.
Well, that's cool.
Well, he kind of does at unpromoted, but not promoted now.
Trying to get Maxine up there to be our carry now.
I always loved that animation with the laser Chrome Claw guy.
Was hoping
Yeah, it's nice that it actually opens up now.
that wouldn't happen and that Xeno could just keep holding that line. Yeah, just get rid of that guy before he does something else. Yeah, see, Boken's hitting 22, like, he's fine. I wouldn't call that bad. Okay. I need you to be the carry now. What do I want to do?
Yeah, you have the healing rain, or are you gonna save that to like the second to last?
I'm thinking save that. I'm trying to decide magic or just attack. He got boosted, so probably should just attack. I'm worried about misses, though. Okay.
I think in the update, his attack does go into the spell too. But here, I don't think it does.
Oh yeah, I hadn't noticed it doing that. Alright, we'll refill that. Oh, okay, it doesn't fully refill
Well,
it.
it doesn't. Okay, I'm wrong. It's so long since I've played the original or played, this version of it. I think it used to, but then everyone was complaining that it was too overpowered. Well, I think I must have reduced it then.
I think the best thing he can do is just get one less thing spawning.
Until the other one spawns next to him and kills him and then allows the other one to spawn.
Yeah, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Now, is this still the set up the same way as the other one, where you only have to kill that middle one?
Yeah. I could, in theory, make it kind of like Dark Dragon, where you have to kill all three. I figured that, the way it's currently running, it'd be punishment enough just to deal with the one guy.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm like at my peak with the amount of nodes I could add in the editor for the end battle stuff. If I try to add anything, it will just break the ROM. But if I want to add anything, I can reduce lines, which I probably should, because they get pretty chatty at some of the end battle sequences. But just depends on how much I want to reduce it, because I have to still tell a story with some exposition, which everyone just loves, I'm sure.
I actually do. I like a lot of the story changes and that people talk in cutscenes. That's pretty wild.
I tried to reduce Abel's at Battle 18, where he gets revealed, and the one where Elliot does his thing, so those two go on for a really long time. I try to reduce those a little bit so it's not as long.
I see. Yeah, I didn't think any cutscene was too long.
A lot of the reductions I've had is because we had to make changes for something new that's pop up in the story good, so it needed added in somehow. So I just had to find what was the least relevant dialogue line and just cut it out.
Guess that's the thing to do. And this is a pain. Let me equip the new armor here. Okay, yeah, it's 2 more points of defense. I guess I just should keep her running.
Yeah. course, now they're probably going to start hitting her instead of everyone else in the party, but... Tactical decisions.
Yep, and there goes Varios, probably.
He could dodge it. You never know.
He did not dodge it.
I'm a tank until I'm not.
Well, he bought us one turn.
He did. I appreciate that.
I thought that jump used to be so cool. Now it's not as fun anymore.
I don't love it.
Yeah. That's been fixed.
How many of these turtle dust things do I have? Because I have a feeling I'm gonna want more of those. Trying to decide, do I want that now? Okay, yeah, I'll use one now.
Yeah, since you have Elliot boosted, it seems like the best time to do so.
Probably.
Especially since like half your team's dead.
Yeah, there's also that. Sweating a little bit.
I guess Boken's your new line of defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Have him get rid
You
of
should
that
make
one.
those. You should make those brain cells explode like burst rocks.
That would be a cool feature.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
You know, because this game is definitely not hard enough already. And you should make him respawn too.
Why not? Oh, I'm sure that's probably the biggest complaint I get is the respawnable enemies.
I did see some complaints about that, but I haven't felt like it's been too much.
Well, usually when it came to respawn, most of the time it's because your incentive to leave, you're not supposed to be fighting. You're supposed to just get out of there, out of dodge as soon as you can.
Yeah.
But here, yeah, I kind of did it on purpose just to piss you off.
Now, do they keep respawning the entire time, or if you get a certain distance away, do they stop?
No, they don't stop. They may not approach you. I don't think I may have, like the ones at the bottom, I'm not sure if I programmed to actually follow you, but I know there's like 100 that will pop out. So if you sit there indefinitely and keep killing them, yeah, you know, get rid of those respawnables.
That's interesting. I didn't think they would have an end.
There's a max limit on those?
Yeah. You can only, they can look at the editor.
Interesting.
That surprises me. There we go. Boken gets a little bit more health to be our wall.
You fit up to 3 digits, so I think it's 288. 228 you can fit.
228.
I think I could be wrong. I'm trying it out now, just trying different combinations. At 244.
Well, usually it would be
Like
256.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, it is 256. If I tried 257, it freaks out. So it's 255. You could do, which I mean, that's an insane amount of enemies to deal with anyway.
Yeah, you would never see the end of that.
Most of mine are just set to 100. I figured no one's gonna see that anyway.
And if you do, good job.
Yeah. Here's your little bubble prompt. It says,
You should make the last one in the set, if they kill all 250 of them, it drops like a bonus item.
A yoga
just a
ring.
little achievement,
Just for the
little achievement
real
pop-up.
champs out there. And then you put an achievement in the game so they have to get it.
I wouldn't be against having achievements in game if it could be programmed, but I don't think that would work. I mean, I'm sure we could do like an outside achievement type thing. You have to prove that you did certain stuff with like save states or something.
Yeah.
Um,
There we go.
Sucker.
Fools, Dark Dragon will come to destroy you. I will never open the path for you. Next scene, with your permission, I'd like to start an interface with Colossus. Oh, that's interesting. That's too dangerous, Xeno. We've seen what that thing can do to other robots. Yes, but this may be the only way of opening the passage to Dark Soul. Do it. But be careful.
Well, Xeno's dead.
Xeno inserts a plug into Colossus. One moment. Ah! Xeno, what's wrong? Poor Xeno, he has failed to see that this works both ways. While you're poking around, that should be you, R. While you're poking around my data, I'm busy taking over your system. My old body was weak, but this one will do nicely. So shiny, so pristine. I don't believe you're gonna kill Xeno right at the 11th hour. No, I just need... Can still... Ugh. Xeno! Elliot slices the cord connecting Xeno with Colossus. Xeno, are you okay? I'm fine, I think. But I did see something. That's you, Erica.
Oh, sorry. Dude, I'm reading in my head. I'm like, yeah. Okay. What was it?
Colossus was engineered by the ancients to watch over Dark Dragon's tomb. It was set as an active overseer to all defenses. It had complete control over all of the machines, even across great distances. But as time progressed, its data process and basic functions started to decay. It slowly lost track of its original purpose. Wait. So you're saying every killer bot we've seen was essentially Colossus? I like that change. To put it bluntly, yes. With its original purpose lost, it was more than willing to give Dark Soul control of his robotic army. That would explain how they knew exactly where to look to dig these things up. But how did Dark Soul make contact with Colossus while it was hidden here? And why weren't you affected? I would have to speculate. Dark Soul made contact with Colossus some time ago. Perhaps it was by mere chance with other machines it controlled, or he sought it out. As for me, I do not know. Maybe my creators never finished integrating me into the network. Or maybe they wanted a robot not hindered by the autonomous processes of my predecessors.
It's a mouthful.
That's okay. Whatever their reasons, we are glad to have you here with us. There is one other thing. The signal Colossus has been using to control the robots like me. If we deactivate it, it will release all robots from his control. Oh, will they revert to Seal Dark Dragon? Oh. I'd rather be turned into scrap than allow that. Their function is to serve me. Warring for a defective artificial intelligence and a madman is not what I call a proper function. They will be free. We'll see about that. You may destroy this shell, but you will never leave this room alive. I could leak poisonous gas, rain down metal slugs from above, but I think the good old fire trick will suffice. Activate Flash Fire Containment Protocol, room A158, passcode...
Bonus points if you know what that is.
I don't. Do you want to say, or just leave that to who knows?
Yes, you got any idea?
Mr. Wizard.
No? Okay.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
It is the Picard code from Star Trek.
Ah, I've never been a Trekkie.
Me neither, but I know of that code, and I just thought it'd be funny to have them.
Well, that's fun.
Like a little Easter egg, like a lot of other stuff I threw in that were more on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that room A158, that used to be my old work office.
That's fun. Everyone clear the room. Also, that sound he uses is not used nearly enough.
Yeah.
It's game over, man. Game over. Speaking of references. You lose, Shining Force. Did I mention when I was poking around your data that I swapped your Flashfire protocol for your own self-destruct sequence? How did you know it would do the fire containment protocol? I did not. I had what you organics would call a gut feeling. Oh! Execute cancellation of previous order. Passcode... Oh, okay. Well...
This is why you don't make your password
Oh,
super long. You leave it something simple like cat. or password.
You hear that? That statue over there. Use the staircase, Maxine. Dark Soul must be up there.
I did always wonder with Colossus, like, sitting on that, like, did he do that? Or were the ancients like, this is art, so we did it? Or is it like, what if we put our computer on top of, like, a male torso just sitting there, like...
Well, the other thing is, why would you build a giant statue in front of a staircase?
There's a lot of questions here. So,
Game design.
These are the real questions that need answering.
That is going to have to do it for this episode, though. So, yeah. That'll do it, and we will see you in the finale, the last part, next time. Stay tuned.